Should old acquaintance be forgot and never brought to mind? Should old acquaintance be forgot and the days of old lang syne? We two have paddled in the stream from morning sun till night. The seas between us, Lord, and swell since the days of old lang syne. For old lang syne, my dear, for old lang syne. Should old acquaintance be forgot in the days of old lang syne? For old lang syne, my dear, for old lang syne. We'll drink a cup of kindness yet for the sake of old lang syne. We'll drink a cup of kindness yet for the sake of old lang syne. Welcome to the season 6 finale of Ego and Vice. Happy New Year.
You've got a real attitude problem, McFly. You're a slacker.
Born and raised in South Bay, lower class punk ass, I was Northwood grade. I had it made. Spent my nights drinking with my mates. Just a short bus ride up to PA. Red River Red. Then I hit the wall and I knew I had to bounce. They still say that 19 years ago, well, I got the hell out. From time to time you may see me hanging around. Now I feel like a stranger in this town. Crossing roads is where I learned to play. Westwood Tavern's where I learned to walk away. Hey, we're back. This is Ego and Vice. This is episode 123. This is the season finale of season 6. I don't have any guests in the studio today, but I do have a co-host. He is a really good friend of mine. His name is Ryan Kahn. Everyone calls him Conzi. What's up, Conzi?
Not too much. What's up, Mike?
I don't know. The reason I had you out is because this is the season finale of season 6. You are an avid Ego and Vice listener,
I am.
and I really appreciate that.
Oh, no problem.
At least he tells me he is.
Yeah, I listen.
Yeah.
I listen.
So if I start grilling you on episode 112,
well, I don't know the episodes off by heart.
Oh,
but
okay.
If
That's
you ask
pretty
me
good.
about the artist, I might know a bit more.
okay, cool. Anyway, and plus, as you saw in the ad, this is not only the season finale of season 6, but this is also the 2-year sober anniversary for me, which was yesterday, actually, but it's today, and Ryan has been there since the beginning. The first time that we hung out, I think I was still drinking, and then I probably quit drinking about 2 weeks later, and it's been a very big change in my life. And Ryan doesn't drink either. Not that he can't drink, he just chooses not to.
Chooses not to. That's why.
Yeah.
Why put the poison in?
Yeah. I think me and Ryan have a lot of talks about like drinking and getting older.
Yes.
And when you're younger, when you're in your 20s, even late teens, 20s, 30s, and stuff like that, you're so resilient in your body. It just like you're pretty much made out of rubber anyway, and you just feel kind of resilient. But so you go out on those nights and you drink yourself stupid, and then you wake up and you're good, and then you go. When I was doing that, I'd lose 2 days, right?
Yeah.
And plus, when you get older, it's just I worry about my health.
Yeah.
I started worrying about my health a lot, and Ryan and I are very health conscious.
Yeah.
You do a lot of running.
Yes, lots of running.
Crazy amounts of running. Well, you used to. What happened?
Yeah. The running had to take a little break this year. I was playing soccer and blew out my knee. Now I need a complete knee rebuild on my right knee, so kind of cut back the running because can't.
Hasn't really stopped. Well, it stopped you for a bit.
It stopped me for a bit. Surgeon told me it's okay to run now, as long as I'm not making any like big cuts. You know, you run straight lines, so
No.
scale it back a bit. Run not as much, not as often.
Don't be chasseing through the woods. Pa ta pa pa ta.
Yeah, exactly. No more trail runs because you hit the wrong little uneven terrain and
Yeah, then you fucking blow. But wasn't there an issue of like overcompensating? What if you blow your other one out? Then what
well,
happens?
that's definitely an issue too because I do at times because even at work I'll be up a ladder or something. I'm putting all my weight on my left knee because I don't want to put it on my right, and then later in the day, yeah, that other knee is not very comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I got to be careful with both.
And you blew your what? ACL, MCL.
ACL, PCL, meniscus,
You blew all those.
all of them.
Amazing.
Yeah.
It's amazing how you can. But I remember when you did it, you said you heard like a big pop or a crack or something like that. But we work together too, Ryan and I. And so it's just like you haven't missed a day of work. Well, you missed. I think you took a day off.
I took 2 days off immediately. They were like 2 days immediately after it happened, just to recover, and then we had a couple days off just based on our schedule.
Mm-hmm.
And then I seemed to be okay. I could walk around, so I decided I'd go to work and test it out until I saw the doctor.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I've managed. They said as long as I can continue doing the work.
It's crazy. And
Yeah.
do you need surgery eventually?
Eventually, it would be best, but surgeon said that whether I have it now or have it later, it's not going to really matter. It'll just be recovery time might be a bit longer if it's later.
Crazy. So, hey, there you go, everybody. Human body is a resilient motherfucking thing.
It certainly is.
You just blow your knee up. Just blow everything up, and you can still just do things.
Do things, yeah.
Yeah, just don't do some things that you were doing to blow the knee out.
Yeah.
If only it was all like that, right?
Oh, it'd be great.
If the whole body was like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so not just an avid Eagle and Vice listener, but you're also a music lover.
Love the music.
Big Beatles fan.
Huge Beatles fan.
Tell us what the Beatles mean to you.
Oh, goodness. What the Beatles... Well, you grow up... my dad always had the Beatles on when we go on car rides and stuff, so it's a little bit of nostalgia, first of all. It's, reminds you of good times when you were younger. But, the songwriting, Lennon and McCartney, they can hit every feeling and just bring so much joy to your life in listening to them. And, yeah, the Beatles mean... They were... my introduction to music and what I based everything I've listened to since on. And yeah, so much influence that I even named my daughter after John Lennon. So
Lennon. That's right.
Yeah.
There you go. Well, that's good, man. I have I don't mind the Beatles. Beatles are all right. I like that new tune. New tune's
yeah,
good.
the new tune's good. Yeah.
No. Anyway. Let's talk about season 6, since this is the season finale. I'd just like to go back and thank all the guests that I had on. It was a packed season with tons of awesome guests and artists and bands. And I'm just going to name them off here. So you can always go back and check out the episodes. Pardon me. Starting way back in March. Yep. Episode 98 was Brad Dorian, great comedian in town. We had Nick Cooper, then Alex K. Black, Isabel, The Escape Society, Tin Constellations, The Fly Downs. We had Dean Watson from Buckingham Palace Studio, Audio Visceral, singer-songwriter Autoline. We had Positive Charge, Ted Cardy. We had Music Trivia with DJ Noah from 88.5. Great local bands. Neon Ghost House, The New Hires. I had Sandy from Teenage Fiction on. Class of 91. Guest Room Status. Stoby. Leanie Jones. Fifth. Out by Lucy. And Laughing in Slow Motion. Wow. That's a big laundry list of amazing talent. I just want to say thank you so much for being on. You made this season very, very enjoyable, very, very rich with talent, and a lot of fun for me. And I don't know. I can't say enough. Thank you so much. I am going to be releasing a podcast maybe mid-January. It's going to be the Mixtape Volume 2. What I do is I just take a track from everyone that was on Season 6. I think it's the latter half of Season 6. Season 6 was a long fucking long season, man. I had a lot. I think I did like 20-something episodes. Anyway, but I'm going to release Mixtape Volume 2. And like I said, it's a track from everyone that's been on. I had Mixtape Volume 1 probably 6-7 months ago, I think. And it did really, really well. And everyone liked to see, it's almost like a playlist, right? Of local stuff. You can't break up individual tracks, and I'm not releasing it that way. I'm not a fucking radio station. It's just, if you want to listen, you got to listen to the whole thing as a whole. And there is like a fucking skip ahead button. There you go.
There you go.
Right? I'm not going to time it out like a YouTube video of a concert where it's like, ooh, look at 3:32. I can jump to.
Doesn't really matter, does it? They're all great artists, and they all
have a listen. Have a listen to them as a whole, as a collection. Because remember back in the day with CDs where you'd get like Much Music's
Big Shiny Tunes.
Big Shiny Tunes.
Yeah,
I know you could skip ahead on those, but it was a collection of everything, and it was fun to just to put in and let it play in the background because it was a good showcase of everything that was going on at the time.
Yes,
and that's what Mixtape is. And look for that in January, but. This is the last episode of Season 6, officially. I am going to take January off because I need to recharge the batteries. I need to refresh. It takes a lot of work to anyone who knows or doesn't know to create this podcast. Work that is very rewarding, and I love doing it, but like any good thing, too much of anything is too much of one thing.
Of course.
As they say. So I'm going snowboarding. Yep, packing up for the month, and I'm going to find some snow somewhere. So there. Okay, so not only is this Season 6 finale, but this is also my 2-year anniversary of being sober. How about that? I've been officially sober for 2 years. Back in the day, hence the music and the lifestyle and the partying and COVID. And I can't really blame COVID for the drinking, but it did escalate everything because there was a lot of downtime.
Yeah, what else were you supposed to do?
Yeah, but even when stuff was open, I would still go to the bars and I would spend a ton of money and stuff. And I didn't realize back then, the way I do now, how much of a kind of a mess I was in. Because I see it now. I see how much my life has changed and how much better it is. Everything changes when you quit drinking. And you can't tell somebody that, right?
No.
My problem as when I was drinking, I was never I was highly functional. I held a job. I had bands. I had relationships. I had friends. I never, I was highly functional. I don't consider the term alcoholic accurate in certain cases, and I'm not in denial.
No.
Like, I've quit drinking. If I was an alcoholic, I'd say I quit drinking. I am an alcoholic. But I've gotten information in my sources and what I've read, and what I read and what I believe is that I wasn't physically addicted to alcohol. I was emotionally addicted to alcohol because it was involved in every aspect of my life. It was like a coping mechanism. It was a social thing. It was like a friend when you were alone type of stuff. And you get in certain routines and patterns and habits to the point where before you know it, because you're not paying attention, it becomes like everything you do.
Yes.
And throughout my life, I've always just drank beer. It's a lifestyle I loved. Like, I look back on it super fondly. Goat just released that new song.
Yeah.
Well, I just released that new song. It's called The Good Old Days. And it's basically saying, I think it starts off just basically saying, I miss being young and stupid and drinking and partying and all that stuff. And the meat of the song is basically saying, I'm all clean now and I don't do that stuff anymore.
But you miss it.
But I miss the idea of it. Because it's just like, when you're dating a girl.
Yes.
Or you're in some sort of relationship and you're miserable and you're fucking, and then you finally do break up.
Yes.
or she breaks up with you or something like that. And then at first you feel kind of like, euphoric, I'm free. But then maybe a month later you start second guessing it, and all you remember is the good stuff.
Yes.
You don't remember the miserable fights and the miserable nights and the silent treatments and the barfing. Wait, no, that's the drinking
That's
part.
the drinking.
There may be some barfing.
Maybe some barfing.
Yeah. So you just romanticize it, right?
Of course, yeah.
And I think that's where I'm at with the drinking. But the beauty of it is that I talked to my friend Doug Hempstead, because he was one of my he didn't do anything but offer his
Support.
But you can't tell someone, like, this is what you need to do. You just basically say, hey, if that's what you want to do, here's some information. But he said to me, he's like, I said, 2 years, bud. And he said, that's awesome. He's like, that's a big one. He said, think of this. And this is something he just said, he wrote to me, and I thought it was brilliant. He said, you're beyond temptation. Now it would be harder to drink than not to drink.
Oh, that's a good one.
And what that made sense to me was it totally would be, because it's like there's no pull for me to drink anymore.
No.
Strange to think that I used to like drink all the time. That honestly, yeah, if there was a beer in front of me, I'd be like, fucking, I just couldn't. I wouldn't even do it, you know. Whereas before, I'd be like, oh, I gotta try so hard not to drink that. Now it'd be like harder to drink it. It's true. Totally makes sense, and it's amazing how the script like flips in your brain. Because, and this is the part that you can't explain to people, and this is the part that people don't want to hear, is that you can't explain how much better your life is once you quit drinking.
No.
Especially if you lived a life that was so absolutely intertwined with drinking, where it was everything you did.
Yes.
Social events, weddings, birthdays, fucking picnics,
Friday night,
Saturday night. Well, the calendar, right? Before you know it, that coping mechanism that even if you're bored, at least I'm looking forward to having a drink tonight, right?
Yes, yeah.
And it's like you get so you become so dependent. Not addicted, but you become so unbelievably dependent on that thing because you're convinced it's the cure to all the problems.
Yeah, well, it's kind of like a comfort thing, right? It's you go home and you just grab a cold beer, and that's part of your routine for your end of your day.
Mm-hmm. That's fine.
Yeah.
There are people out there that can have a glass of wine with dinner.
Yeah.
Or they can have a beer and be like, that's enough, I am not one of those people. I do everything in excess. And that's not just, and you're witness to that.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of people say it's all or nothing. And that goes two ways. It's, if I'm going to drink booze, I'm going to drink booze all the time, and I'm going to drink a lot of it all the time.
Yeah.
And I did that. I can't do things in moderation. It's all or nothing. It works the other way, like I said, too. If I'm going to quit something, it has to be fucking...
everything.
That's done. That can never be a part of my everyday again, and I have to work that into my thing. And that's the hardest part about quitting drinking, because it becomes almost like your crutch. It's something you lean on no matter what situation you're in. You have a drink. You change your plans because, you know what I mean? I can't drink there. No, why don't we just hang out at home? You know what I mean? Or why don't we just go to the pub?
Yeah.
Because you're always trying to find an excuse to kind of satisfy the little demon in your brain. You know what I mean? And you become selfish, and you stop caring about what other people are thinking too much because you're too worried about just kind of, it's like, and it may be extreme, but it's like a junkie who'll rob his grandmother to get money for drugs, right? It's on a lesser degree, but it's the same fucking action where you'll manipulate certain situations just to get what you want, so you'll be in your comfort space so you can get your drug, which is alcohol is a drug.
Alcohol is a drug.
Make no mistake about it, regardless of how they market it, whether you see it on the side of a bus or you see it on a TV commercial, or you can walk into Walmart and right next to the fucking baby food is a rack with fucking whiskey bottles on it. It is a drug. It kills millions of people every year, people are hopelessly and horribly fucking stuck in cycles of it. Unfortunately, some people are physically addicted to it, and the government and the media and the marketing make it seem like it's a good time.
Good time.
You want to have a good time? Try our beer. Try our alcohol. It's just like when cigarettes were, like, big tobacco was like on everything. Used to sponsor sporting events.
Yeah.
Used to see it on the boards of Marlboro, on the boards of hockey games, on car lids, on fucking used to be smoking commercials.
Everywhere.
But it got crunched down on. They said, you can't do this anymore because smoking will fucking kill you. It'll give you cancer and it'll kill you.
Yes.
Big alcohol is the exact same fucking situation.
Yeah.
But it still is out there like cigarettes used to be. People
Yeah.
think of cigarettes, oh, that's gross, it's terrible, how could you do that?
Yeah.
But you see someone drinking and it's like, yay, it's a party, right?
Oh,
like
of course,
it's our society. You're completely led to believe that everything associated with alcohol is a good time or a party or a relaxation. Name one good thing that alcohol does for you.
I can't.
Nothing.
Nothing.
If you say, oh, it helps me relax, maybe the first one does, the thought of it, once you get the little dopamine drip.
Yeah.
But basically what you're doing is you're being fooled because that euphoric feeling, that feeling inside your brain that kind of numbs, that's basically you're poisoning yourself.
Yes.
And you're dulling your brain. You're putting a poison in your bloodstream, which is making you think that you're feeling better.
Yeah.
But you're not. It elevates your heart rate. It has to get filtered through your organs, and it slowly and put like human cells in a petri dish with 100% pure like ethanol or alcohol.
Oh, they die.
And the cells dissolve into nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing. Just because you mix it with Coke or you dilute it from 100% to 40%, it's still the same product that you're drinking, and you're killing yourself.
Yes.
Like you're actually poisoning yourself. People say, they joke on like social media. It's like, I'm so hungover. Oh God. And it's almost like a joke, right? You know what a hangover is? It's your body trying not to die.
Yes.
Because you spent the night ingesting fucking poison for fun.
Yes.
That's what you're doing.
Yeah.
All the power to everyone who's out there and who's doing it. I'm not preaching. I'm just telling you the information that helps me not drink every single day.
Yes.
Before I quit drinking, I was miserable. I had anxiety. I had depression. I was sad all the time. I was overweight. I felt like garbage. I had acid reflux. I had headaches. I had like my skin was my skin on my face was like always red and puffy. Just the look of me, like my face was always just like shiny and puffy, and my fingers would swell in the morning. Just from the water retention, or just maybe the lack of the dehydration. I had stomach issues. I had like digestion problems. Bathroom issues were getting weird. Sexual things got in the way, like problems. My friendships were falling apart. Relationships were strained. Work was hard because I was going to work hungover. And just forced to be there because I couldn't afford not to go. I was broke financially, just broke financially, broke physically, broke mentally. And I'm wondering, like, how did I get this way? And like 2 years later, every single one of those things is gone. Like I don't have those problems anymore. And now with a clear conscience and a clear head and hindsight, the gift of hindsight, I realized that everything I was doing, everything I was feeling was caused by the alcohol. The abuse of drinking poison every single day. But it was also my crutch, where it's like the only thing that makes me feel better from all this shit is drinking. And it just got worse and worse and worse and worse. And you just repeat it and repeat it and repeat it. And you get caught in this loop and you can't get out. But one day you have to just kind of wake up and realize, like, what is going on with my life? And like I said, it's a brand new day when you realize that It doesn't have to be that way. You can't describe to anybody what it's like to wake up every single morning after being hung over for 20 fucking years and wake up every single morning going, I feel fucking great.
Does say it's a refreshing feeling.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm rambling.
No.
So anyway, if there's anybody out there, and this is my little PCA, if there's anybody out there who is in a rough situation because they say it doesn't matter how functional you are. If there's a corner of your life or a section of your life where you know that you're miserable or sick, or you know that alcohol is causing issues, life on the other side is much better. There's always going to be problems, but it's amazing dealing with problems with a clear conscience, not feeling sick, and not having those problems being caused by something stupid that you did or something stupid that you couldn't do because of the problems, just because of the routine you're in now. So all I got to say is that the grass is greener, and it's worth a shot.
Always worth a shot, right? Like, can things, ask yourself if things can get any worse.
They can.
Yeah.
They can get worse.
But can they get better?
Absolutely.
Exactly.
I figure I chalk it up to this. I don't have kids. Maybe some people have kids. Have you ever tried to explain to someone who doesn't have kids what it's like to experience your child like smile at you the first time or say your name the first time?
Yeah, but you can't explain it.
You couldn't explain that to me. I'd be like, "Oh, that's nice." And you'd be like, "No, you have it changed my life." And I'd be like, "Oh, cool, good for you."
Yeah.
She must look really cute. And you're like, "I'm not getting to you." You're like, you don't get it.
No.
But you understand that feeling inside of you, which is like it defines you. That's how if someone asks me like, what's it like quitting drinking? Because all they think of is negative. Like, well, what am I supposed to do when I'm fucking out? It's just like, I try and explain that moment that you feel when your child says your name for the first time to someone. I feel amazing. You'll never be able to do it. So it's just words. But until you get there, and then you'll know. Yes. And now I feel I'm part of this wonderful fucking secret club that I wish everybody could be in. But unfortunately, that's just not the way the world works. But if you're getting older, think of your health and do what's best for what's going on. But hey, man. Anyway, that was that. Because it's my 2-year anniversary of quitting drinking, I just wanted to express some of the feelings that I have. And after 2 years of fucking doing this, I feel like this is my goddamn podcast. I do a lot for everybody. If you wanted to sit through this and listen to me, you don't have. You can. If you didn't want to, shut it off. It's your fucking option, whatever. But I just wanted to say that. I think I've said everything I need to say. And if I didn't, I'll edit it in later. Thanks, Ryan.
Yeah, no worries. Here to encourage the lifestyle you've chosen.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
So, what do you look forward to for the season 7 of Ego and Vice?
I don't know. Maybe some new local bands. Hopefully there'll be a couple new ones coming up, and maybe some follow-ups on some of the bands you had this year, because I think some of them are primed to do some big things.
I think so. Did you have any standouts that you enjoyed? That you heard of through the podcast?
Actually, Neon Ghost House. I hadn't heard of them through the podcast or until the podcast, and I enjoy what they're doing. I enjoy their sound. Mm-hmm. They're good.
You should catch a show sometime.
Yes, I'd like to.
They put on a very, very good show. Scott and the fellas, super nice guys, really humble guys too for the amount of success they've had.
Yeah. And
I hope they just keep. I think 2024 is going to be a really good year for that band. I really do.
I hope so.
And their shows are super energetic, and he's the Scott the singer. He's got the crowd in the palm of his hand, and he works it well. And so anyway, go on. Sorry.
Yeah, no, that's good. Good information. Looking forward to it. I made my first venture out into the local music scene post-COVID to see your Christmas show, which was great and acoustic. So looking forward to getting out and seeing some more local stuff.
Yeah. On our the Ego and Vice One Night Only series, number 3, we had Autoline.
Fantastic.
Isn't she good,
voice.
though?
She's beautiful voice.
Yeah. She's an old soul, I think, eh? She has that haunting, amazing presence. She just kind of, the space around her becomes her, you know what I mean? Once she starts singing
you can't help but get drawn in. Like you just get focused.
Haunting. It's haunting.
Very haunting, yeah.
And we had Matt Luloff, the man, the myth, the legend.
man, the myth, the legend. Matt Luloff's always a great time.
Yeah. Matt Luloff is a veteran of the... that's a play on words there, too. He's actually a veteran of the Canadian Armed Forces.
Okay,
He's also a veteran of the Ottawa music scene as well as Matt Luloff, with bands like Hearts and Minds, classic band, Still Cities, all his independent stuff. And he just released a EP under, the first time ever, under his own name, Matt Luloff.
Oh, cool.
With songs that he's written over the last little while, and it is a banger. Real good. So I'm really proud of that. Look up Matt Luloff. Check out his tunes. Check out his new EP. There's more music coming in the new year for sure, as he's told me to my face, so I believe him. And I spoke with Matt yesterday, actually, and I said, hey, let's write a song together this year. And he said, fucking rights, let's do it.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Looking forward to that one.
We use the same software, not that it matters, but it's we're just going to do it online, kind of back and forth if I have tidbits and stuff, but I don't want to spill too many of the beans. The other band on that night was Class of 91.
Great band.
Awesome throwback kind of 90s alt rock with a modern day twist. Guys are killing it. Super happy to have met them. I've had nothing but good experience with the Class of 91 guys. And yeah, man, they just released a single, and I think they got new music coming out. So I think 2024 is going to be a pretty solid year for local music.
It's good. I'm looking forward to it. It's really taken off. It's been a while since we've had a scene like this in Ottawa.
Yeah, I think the pandemic sucked. It sucked for everything, but man, did it ever create a need and a want for live entertainment.
Yes.
And did it ever make everyone a lot more creative, or maybe even grateful of what they have? Because we all know that it can be taken away, which sometimes people get a little entitled to their lives, and they think, I deserve this and this and this, until it's not there, and then they're like, ooh, shit.
Yeah.
So sometimes you just need a little bit of a
reality check.
Reality check even too. A little reality check, a little wake-up call saying, you know what I mean? Take good care of what you have. Don't take things for granted. Work hard. Always be creative. And that's not just writing music or fucking... always be creative in your life. Do something. Put something back into the world, even if it's giving good advice.
Yes.
It's very, very important to kind of keep moving forward that way. Always put something back into the world, because all we do is take. Just saying. And pay heavily out the nose for everything. Anyway.
For everything.
I'm jumping all over the place. Okay, let's wrap this up, because I don't want to go too long with the season finale. So, Ryan, thank you so much for being on, just being my kind of sounding board. I find it... I know podcasts aren't really your thing, and I appreciate that, but you've done a wonderful job.
Thank you.
It's a lot easier for me to sit and feel like I'm having a conversation than doing a 30-minute podcast by myself, just talking to the fucking wall.
Yes.
Right? Because sometimes I need to look at a friend and have them kind of raise an eyebrow saying, you've been talking about... Because I'll give a little hint. This is the second time we've done this podcast. The first time I went off on I was talking about people on Facebook. A friend that I went to high school with with his Christmas presents. I don't know where I was going. So I needed a little fucking check. So I appreciate you being here for that. I want to thank everyone that helped me out with season 6. I want to thank all the local bands again. And I look forward to season 7.
Yeah, gonna be good.
I'm going to make a few changes. I'm going to try and reach out a little bit further. And another little secret, I pretty much have February and March already booked.
Oh, nice.
So things are going to be good, and we're going to keep rolling. And I want to thank, lastly, Doug Hempstead, Jason Watts, Chris Landry, you, Ryan Kahn, and Alex Sepp for being the most supportive over this 2-year journey of not just sobriety, but just of complete lifestyle reimagination, which I've done.
You've done fantastic.
Yesterday, I went and got my straight edge tattoo on my right hand with the date 12/27/21, and this is probably the most significant thing I'll ever tattoo on my body. Just because it really does mark a amazing accomplishment that I'd never thought I'd ever see. Not just sober, but also I've adopted the straight edge lifestyle. No drugs, no alcohol, no cigarettes, which I'm going to stand by. I know you're not supposed to get certain things like this tattooed on you because it's like getting the girlfriend tattooed on your arm. You never know. Getting the straight edge X tattooed on my hand is one of those kind of like, you sure you want to do that? And I said, absolutely. My conviction right now has never been stronger. And worst case scenario, somewhere down the lines, you can't predict the future. It will always represent a very, very important time in my life.
Yes.
All right. I'm going to leave it at that. Thank you so much, Ego and Vice listeners. Thank you so much, Ryan Kahn. We'll see you for season 7.
You've got a real attitude problem, McFly. You're a slacker.
Wanna